coming at you live from my little brother's bedroom here. I wanted to just let you guys know that the video you're about to see is going to address some questions regarding if you should be a coach or not. This is a big question that I come across, and even though I'm explaining these sorts of answers in an indirect way, I'm actually going through one of my own revelations, and I'm explaining who this type of person might be. So if you've been curious about whether or not coaching is right for you, this video is going to give you some answers to it. Just stick with it, be patient, and enjoy the show.
So I'm realizing that, I want to help people become coaches, and but more specifically, people that are looking for something that is new, a new type of job, or their job's kind of burnt out, or they're just looking for a different, way to contribute and to the world, right? And I'm looking for the types of people that just naturally bring people up. They're what I like to call natural uplifters. People come to them and they decide that, or they don't decide, but people come to them and they just tend to be in this supportive role, and people will, they'll find themselves in this, mentoring, guiding position where, they're just, maybe they're being positive, or they're helping others, really look at things differently. But those that really excel at this and find themselves in these roles, and yet at the same time in their professional life are doing something that's just kind of getting old or just very unfulfilling. Well, I want to propose the idea of, actually just getting some training and becoming a coach, because that really is the role that they're finding themselves in. So, if they were to just have, because most people, the thing is most people don't feel like they're ready to coach. Most people don't feel like they're qualified to coach someone else, even though they, without realizing it, are essentially helping and coaching and mentoring others, right? But the idea of making it into a business, or turning it into this thing where, you're having a monetary and energetic exchange for it, changes the game a little bit. And I think what makes the biggest difference is that just like a doctor would go to school to become a doctor, or a family practitioner, same thing with college, and becoming a life coach. Right now, they don't have a life coach degree. When you go to a university, they don't have anything like that. So as of right now, basically you have people that have been in coaching for a long time, even 40 plus years, who've been coaching their whole life. And then they just kind of hand the baton down. And this has been something that's happened, over the last, really, like, it's probably always been happening. I know that it's always been happening, even back in the, ancient Egyptians and prior to that, right? Like, we've always had this teacher student, mentor type of relationship. But to turn it into a business is this thing where, you gain these skills, you get actual education, just like you were to go to college for XYZ. Well, now you're getting actual training on how to conduct a coaching session, let alone create a business and figure out your hourly pay and your hourly rate and all that. But like, taking a look at, like, what do you do when someone calls you? Like, how do you even talk about, like, what do you talk about, and how do you even help them? And right, so to get like a foundation and a system and a methodology, you get a little bit of training underneath your belt. And if you're already in that type of role in your personal life, it would be honestly a very somewhat easy transition to transition and move over into your personal life as a life coach and as an actual mentor for people, where you can get paid to do that. And obviously, not everybody starts out making lots of money, unless you subscribe, unless you have a lot of money to pay for a big course that you want to commit to, that's like a $5,000 ticket or something, right, where people will grow your Instagram for you, and they'll do all these things, right, like kind of for you. and get you leads, and there's nothing wrong with that. But to be very, I guess you could say, self-reliant and to truly walk the walk, normally, typically, you start out just like everyone else. You start out small, and you work your way up, out of the myriad of different ways that are available to us now through the internet. But the idea for me, and what coming back to like what I've kind of discovered and what I'm really on right now, is a very effective training where I am gonna literally coach you one-on-one, in real time, unique to you, personal to you, and show you how to actually have conversations and actually land clients, and turn your conversations and convert them into consultations, and eventually an actual client, with weekly sessions or whatever your offer might be, which I'm open to crafting and helping you kind of discover if it's something different that you're being called to do, other than the foundation and the platform that I've learned. And so when they run into someone like you and you have something to offer, now I know that you might not feel like you have something to offer, but that's where, if you learn a modality and you learn the training, that's where you really can, and you get the practice, you get the experience via practice sessions. That's where you really can, feel confident in being able to offer good value to someone and really honestly feel like you can change their life. Little by little, slowly but surely, you really can help them break through some of their own limitations. So this invitation is more so for those that they are ready to, start or launch their coaching business and just yet don't know how. This is really to start out small. I know a lot of people want to jump and go into something larger, and make money now and make money fast. But that's not always the most sustainable way, and it's also not the most authentic way, meaning that it's a little shallow, and some people are going to feel that. So if you're really wanting that real transformation, not just with the people that you're helping, but also with yourself, to where you can fully embody this, you can get to a place to where you're in a similar place like myself right now, where you're able to speak, and you're able to speak fluently about what it is that you do and own what it is that you do. I can at least get you started on that journey. And the idea and the outcome would be to literally land your first client and, accelerate your sales skills, your conversational ability, your ability to, convey a message, and also pull out, what it is that is meaningful to others, pull out their problems, pull out more problems that they realize. And basically create a demand, create like a gap, create like a gap of, what it is that they're wanting to achieve, and actually have them be able to connect with something that's very meaningful for them, something that they would like to see change, even if they didn't even know about it before, or maybe give that much attention. So like, my story keeps messing up, and I don't know why. It's the reason for everything, but point is that, like, all you need is just a little bit of confidence. And in the way you get the confidence to become a coach is, number one, like, recognizing who you are and what your role is. If you're a natural uplifter and people are kind of like, you just find yourself in that role of being a mentor, all you really need is to recognize that, number one. But number two, you just need to get a little bit of training and a little bit of education underneath you, so that you do have the confidence to actually just, switch over and transition into a more professional role with it for real, and you learn how to do that. But, like, I don't know, I'm just saying, it could be like really easy for you. Like, you might actually consider being a coach. If that's something that you haven't really thought about, or it's like, oh, you know what, like, I've never actually seriously considered it, like, Oh, I know I couldn't coach right now because I don't feel like I could be qualified to coach people. And you're probably right. But you get some qualifications, you get some trainings, and, you get some education and things like that. And then it's like, just like you were to go to school, it works. So, like I was saying, if you feel like this could be something that you'd like to explore, I'm open to have a conversation with you about it. And, there's lots of ways to go about this. You know what I mean? There's lots of ways to, depending on where you're at, where you want to get involved. There's lots of places to get started. But the idea is, if any of this is resonating, like if it's like, like he's kind of got a point, or like I'm going to be with that. Something that small means like you could be onto something. So hit me up. Let's talk about it. And I'll give you some pointers at the very least. You know what I mean? I'll be your soundboard, and we'll have a blast. All right. I'll see you guys later.